Hi, sweetheart. It's late and I can't sleep, despite how much I want to. My mind has been going since my talk with Marie. Probably from the entire weekend, to be honest. It's been busy. I met a bunch of Marie's friends. She's been really excited about me being back. Keeps telling everyone all of my embarrassing stories, which I find more funny than embarrassing. I hung out with them and I had a really good time. Felt like myself for a couple of hours. It was nice. I applied to work at the cafe they all work at. It reminds me of Yoon, which is a little bittersweet. Letting go of that place was one of the hardest things I had to do. Almost as hard as letting go of you, though clearly I haven't succeeded at that. I talked to Alex about not working at the bar. He showed up at the cafe right after they hired me, which made me feel hella awkward. I wanted to talk to him before my interview, but he wasn't around. I felt like I let him down. I'm always worried about that these days. I'm tired of feeling like a disappointment. He assured me that he wasn't upset and he was happy for me. He told me he was worried about me. Thinks I might get caught up in the wrong crowd. My track record isn't doing me any favors with that one. I told him what I thought he wanted to hear. One thing I've always been good at. You learn a lot growing up with a mother who teaches you to paint a pretty picture the world is willing to accept. Tell him just enough of the truth to make it sound believable. He seemed to buy it. Deceiving him isn't necessarily something I'm worried about doing. I don't think I'll ever be a part of the right crowd. It's not who I was made to be. So he can worry if he'd like. And I will continue to say what I have to throw him off of whatever trail he believes he may have found. Marie and I finally got some time to properly catch up. Sounds like she went through a lot while I was gone. But she's doing really well, it seems. She's engaged and I can tell she's really happy. I told her about how I lost my way. She was shocked to find out about the drugs because of how much I always hated that. I was shocked when I was captivated by them as well. Desperate times call for desperate measures, I suppose. They helped quiet the storm for a while, but created a lot of damage in the process. I'm afraid some parts of me will never be the same, no matter how carefully I attempt to put them back together. Alan said something profound about that truth I am so afraid of. He said the hardest thing to accept is that this will be a part of me for the rest of my life. I will never truly escape it. He told me the old me is gone, and the longer I allow myself to dwell in the past, the harder it will be to accept the present, and that I should leave the past where it belongs, and live for the future I want. He promised it would be sweeter than any version of the past I attempt to recreate. I want to take his advice. I want to accept this new version of myself for what it is, no matter how broken it may be. Not like I wasn't broken to start with. I guess this was the last good piece of me I was holding on to, but the cruel world decided to take that away too, leaving me with not much of anything. Sometimes it feels like my sobriety chip is burning a hole in my pocket. I know it's supposed to be there as a reminder of the person I don't want to be, of the hurt I no longer want to cause, but instead, it feels like I'm carrying a tiny, ticking bomb with me everywhere I go. It's like a well-rehearsed lie just waiting to escape from my lips. We both know it's only a matter of time before I give in. I'll continue to ignore its taunts for as long as I can. So, I have some, interesting news. Well, it's not really news because it's not confirmed, but I might have a sister. Her name is Julie. Marie thinks we are sisters because we have the same last name and we are both Asian. I didn't have the heart to tell her that there are thousands of Asians with the last name Lee that aren't related. Didn't want to burst her happy little conspiracy bubble. And also because we are both gay. Apparently that's how it works, according to Marie. So now we're getting DNA tests. Mostly because I think Marie's tangents are funny and I'm just along for the ride. You know how she can get with these things. Even if it turns out Julie isn't my sister, which I assume will be the case, I'm sure Marie would still be convinced she was. Never a dull moment with her. Oh, and get this. Julie is a captain of the LSPD. Yeah, you read that right. Can you imagine? My sister. Not just a cop, but a captain as well. Would make family dinners quite interesting if my mom and Yoon were still alive. I told Marie I was nervous about it. I don't think I'd be a very good sister. Which Marie thought was nonsense. She said I'm like a sister to her and I do a good job at that, which was nice to hear. But I think Marie loves me too much to see my flaws. It would be a little sad if she turns out to be my sister. We spent our whole lives making memories without one another. At least she doesn't have to share the bad ones. Like when Yoon died. I wonder if it would feel worse knowing you had a brother out there somewhere and you'll never get the chance to meet him. I think I'll ask Alan for some advice on that. Seems like a heavy thing to receive. A part of you you'll never get to know. I lost the best part of me that night. I don't think I've recovered. It's probably for the best that she didn't grow up with us. Would have been subjected to the same cruelty that we had to withstand. Or maybe not. My mom would have probably made us lie to her like she did with Kaya and Kirsten. I'm envious of the beautiful life she made them believe we lived. I wonder if Julie had a good life growing up. Considering her accomplishments, it seems so. If she is my sister, our father saved the good genes for her. Or maybe that would be proof that you are a product of your environment. Either way, I got the short end of the stick. I think I'll try to get some rest now. Maybe I'll fall asleep before the sun comes up. I will say, one nice thing about being tormented by your mistakes all night is that you get to see the beauty of a new day each morning. I think it's time to let the sun set on these thoughts, though. I don't want to risk them ruining tomorrow. Sweet dreams, babe. I miss you.